guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Spencer.
This is the Board Game Rundown. This week, we've got games we've played. We've got news, a little bit of news, Kickstarters, and a continuation of our saga, our top 30.
Top 30 continues.
Yes,
Oh,
continues.
copyright, sorry.
This
Yeah.
time it is what, 25 through 21, correct?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Right on.
Math is hard.
Mathis, it checks out.
Let's do the expurgated version. What's some games we played this week?
Yep.
Bobby, you usually have the
Games,
most. So
I
I'll start
did have
with
quite
you.
a bit, although Quacks. I played Quacks 6 times.
I
throughout
played
the
with
week.
him.
Good
Yep.
Lord.
Play with Dan.
What'd you think?
It was a good game. I need to play it more.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
only played it once, but I saw why people like it so
Yeah.
much. But with just my one gameplay, I'm not gonna be like it was incredible. I was
Right.
just like that was a well designed, and I played with all the geek bits. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
the geek
you
bits,
played with
the,
the
clink,
nice-
the clink in the bag is definitely
it
nice.
it gives
Yeah.
it such a higher feel.
Quacks of Quedlinburg.
I came home from work on Friday and Sarah had it set up on the table.
Nice.
Whoa.
So she likes it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And we took to her parents' house and they played.
Fantastic.
Yesterday. So yeah, that was great.
Cool.
Right
Yeah,
on.
Good times.
Bag building.
Push
fun
your
little-
luck.
Press your luck.
Yeah, push your luck game. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Really easy to learn and a
Yep.
lot of fun to play.
Yep.
But, okay, Spencer, what do you got?
Oh, I played Nemesis
I played with that.
Dan's just riding on everybody's coattails.
Yeah.
and Game of Thrones.
You play Game of Thrones again?
No, I didn't play that with him.
Oh,
No.
did you leave? Or
No,
you
it was
just
different.
didn't
It was-
play?
no,
You
no, it
played
wasn't involved.
independently. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But yeah, Nemesis was good. I survived.
You're very lucky you didn't come.
Oh, it was.
The fluctuating health?
You would have hated it. It was a really rough game of Nemesis, but I, as an adult, was okay with that. It was still fun.
Wow.
It was very fun. The game was brutal this time.
It was brutal, dude.
I have
fine
never
with a
seen-
brutal game.
It's
I
fine.
hate the fluctuating health.
Yes.
That is
that's
garbage.
literally
It's a
always
garbage
been the rule, and I love it. It's thematic. It's
I
the
know it
point
has
they
literally
adapt.
always
The
been the
point is
rule.
they adapt. That's always been the thing.
It's
It
garbage.
even
They
talks about
adapt to
that.
be weaker because I shot it for 3. Oh, sorry, I had 5 health. Okay, I shoot again for 2 more. Oh, this time it only had 3. It was already dead before you shot.
I
it.
It wasn't dead
adapted
before you
to
shot.
being
Adapted.
crappy.
But you,
Right.
but you gotta shoot it in
bled
order to
out.
make it dead.
It bled out and
Yeah.
became weaker.
Whatever.
I'm just. I
Well,
love it. I love that
that
mechanic.
to me, that is
That's
the
great.
weakest part of that game.
It is a great game.
It is
with
a great game. I love the game.
horrible
It's very
mechanic.
thematic. It is it's probably the weakest
With
part
a
of the
horrible mechanic.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So, anyways, did
We
you play
can
anything else
edit that
without
out.
Spencer there?
So Dan, what did you play then?
What else did I? Who else did I play with? Jeff, did we play anything? Let's see. Next, I played my best game so far of Shadow Network.
Oh, right on.
I'm loving this game, man.
Yeah.
This is my game. I don't know what it is about this engine build thing.
Mhm.
That's, like,
Resource
happening here.
conversion.
Yeah, like I'm loving this game so much. But yeah, it came down to it was Catherine, her brother, and I. And Catherine and I, it came down to, this was the first time playing, of course. He didn't do as well. I will say, though, he did better his first game than Catherine or I did our first game. But it came down to Catherine and I 94 to 92.
Wow, that's a high score.
Yeah, it was a high score. I had 5 contracts completed.
Wow.
Which from the developer of the game is like, that's very high. I think the developer said he's seen 6 contracts done once.
You better
And
tag
I
Jason
wasn't
in
even
this
gonna try it.
and make sure that
Yeah.
you report
But,
exactly how that
I
happened.
took a picture and I shared it so you can see my 5 contracts. You can see all the things. Like, I was like, I was so
That's
proud I pulled it off.
impressive.
She freaking beat me still by 2 points, even though I completed 5 contracts, because she had just I had a problem because I wanted to complete my contract so much of I was buying a lot of purple from the black market. And so I was spending a lot of influence doing that. And so she was able to stay ahead of me in influence, and that made up the difference at the end of the game.
Nice.
But I just didn't care. I wanted
Right,
to complete
you had
that
a goal
5th
and you wanted to
contract.
complete it, yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, Shadow Network, guys, we have a playthrough on it. We have a quick little review on it. And it's just fantastic.
It's a really solid
Don't
game.
burn through all 5 of those too early.
Yeah.
All 5 of... Oh, yeah. Sorry. Halfway there.
I know.
I'm so excited.
It's like, man, we're like 3 minutes into the episode, and Dan's like, yeah, check them out. All right, what'd you play, Tim? We'll
I
ask.
played with actually with Dan over here. We got to play a game on Kickstarter
I
right
played that.
now with the creator and designer. We played on Tabletopia. We played Skeptics.
Yep.
Okay.
And it is a kind of it's a co-op,
Yep.
full co-op. You are
Dice game.
dice game. You're it's kind of like Elder Sign. You're rolling dice. There's a little bit of push your luck, like if you're going to keep rolling, because you. The interesting thing about Skeptics is that when you've got so many actions around. Usually it's what, three actions. So if you
Oh, yeah.
if you go to roll to match your symbols and you don't get what you need, you can spend another action, you can carry some dice over and
try
roll
again.
again, but each
Okay.
time you're rolling is
Takes
an
another
action.
Sure.
And you can get things that'll give you like a free action, to do or a free reroll. So there's times where you can kind of like
Mitigate it a
manipulate the
little bit.
rules.
Yeah.
But then a fun thing is sometimes the ghost will manifest in like a certain area. So everybody on that turn is basically trying to rush there so that you can, because he's got all these things you're trying to solve on him.
Okay.
So you need to roll those, you need to get there and roll those die faces to do it. And the hard part, where it gets hard, is you have to say which one you're going for.
Okay.
So if he's got like 7 or 8, I don't remember exactly how many, but he had a lot. I felt like we're never going to beat this guy because it was like there was one that was like 4, there was one that's 3. There's a couple that are 2, but you can't like save your die.
dice.
Okay.
There's some that'll give you like a timer token, and then those get crazy.
Yeah, because there's a clock. There's a cool looking grandfather clock thing that's when a round completes, it ticks over to the next 3-hour mark, and at 12 o'clock every time is when the ghost appears.
Right.
And
Okay.
can
And then you rush there, you try to fight him. You can try to do like a seance where you call him, you to like summon the
Right.
ghost,
then
and
everyone just beats up on him in one room really quick.
Yeah, but we had a really good time. It got kind of intense by the end. Like if we weren't virtually rolling dice, I said this before, we'd have
Yeah.
been standing up around the table. Like,
I said my
okay,
only,
here we go.
My only negative with the game, like with the experience, is the fact that it just sucks when you play games like that digitally because
Yeah.
first of all, it's a dice rolling game, and you want to roll those dice. It's not the same
Sure.
when you say
Click.
R. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just not the same. And the thing that since it's cooperative dice rolling game, and like it got
See, I
kind
had
of
my
dicey.
mouse.
Yeah, it got
It was
dicey
going like
towards
this.
the end and stuff, and you're like, you just want to be like, come on, Tim, and like
Right.
high fiving him and like,
Right.
you
It
can
was-
do it. Like
It was really fun.
Nice.
It was really fun. We had a really good time. I basically have talked about it now, but that's
Yep.
going to be one of my Kickstarters. I'll go into the Kickstarter details later during the Kickstarter section. But Skeptics really, really had a good time.
Yep.
Nice.
Really would like to see that get funded. Then the other game, I played Flip City solo. Have you guys ever played Flip City?
No.
No.
It's a little like micro deck builder,
Okay.
and it was kind of hard, but I need to play it a little bit more. I was kind of like doing that and like watching a show with my wife and like wrangling the kids, and
Sure.
so I'd come back and like do a couple turns. But it played relatively quick. It'd be interesting also to see how it would play with other players because there is sort of like a press your luck with that. You're flipping over cards, and it will give you resources to buy more cards. But if you get too many like frowny faces, you just stop and your turn ends.
Okay.
And there is a card that is a common one that's got a frowny face, and the cards are two-sided. So if you upgrade your card, you can flip it over. So
Okay.
you're always going to know what your next card is going to be. But if you play this one card, a residence card, it says if your next card is a residence card, you also have to play that. Well, those cards have frowny faces on it. So it can pop you over to your third one.
Right.
And there are cards that will mitigate that, like where you can have an extra one,
Right.
and things like that. But it was really interesting. I need to play it a little bit more to like
Sure.
really go yes or no. But it was difficult, but kind of fun and pretty easy to learn.
I wanted to say really quick, we have a full gameplay of Skeptics that you can go to too. It's a full gameplay though, so it's like an hour and a half video. We will eventually have a like normal review of it out as well, and within the I'm not going to put 2 things here for Skeptics, so just click on the one, and the one will link to the other if you want just the other one. You know
There
what
we
I'm
go.
saying?
The shorter one.
But
Perfect.
Yeah. Also,
for it.
played some Outer Rim.
Yep, that's the next one I was going to
Yeah.
talk about
Nice.
because I was excited.
That was your first time?
I played it solo for like a couple turns to get the feel,
Just to
and
get the
then
rules.
Dan and Catherine came over and we played through like a whole game basically.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
and it was good. I still loved it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my second time playing it now. Loved it. I was talking to Kath about this though. There is one thing I would change about that game that is a pretty drastic change, but I think would make the game a lot better.
Make it Battlestar Galactica.
The slight issue I have with the game is that when you're playing that game, I mean, at least me, I feel like when a lot of people play that game, you want to be as thematic as possible. You
Sure.
want, like I had it in this game, Tim. I was Han
Yes.
Solo. I got the Millennium Falcon. I got the DL-44 blaster, and I was doing the Kessel,
Kessel
Run.
Run.
And I was
That's
like,
right.
this is the best thing that's ever happened to a
Right,
game.
right. That's why I love Rebellion.
Now,
Yeah.
here's what I'm saying, though. The issue with that is it is very unlikely you're going to win if that's what you're going for. If
Oh,
you're
sure.
just trying to be like, I'm going to
Right.
get that ship, I'm going to get that thing. So I kind of wish the game had this little balancing thing. It's funny because I say balancing, but it's just for that purpose of what people are going to want to do while playing the game.
Right.
I just wish, like, for the DL-44 blaster, it would just say +1 to ground battle combat. If Han Solo, +2 to ground battle combat.
Sure.
Or something like that, and just have
Like something
everything-
specific for that character.
Yeah, just
if it's
everything
their
that is
thing.
a specific thing famous for being known to that person.
Yeah.
It should buff them slightly so that
Sure.
you are
Sure.
incentivized.
Well,
to
then
be
by
more
that
thematic.
by that rationale, with my Lando, when I did the Sabacc tournament, I should have got like a bonus
Yeah, no.
to my
Yeah, it
roll
should've been
because he
easier for-
cheats,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it should've been easier for you to cheat. Yeah, no, I 100% agree.
Yeah.
I think that's that game's strength, and it's
Yep.
not in it.
Correct.
And so I
you could
wish
add a
that was
little bit
thing.
more to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
House rule.
Yeah.
no,
right.
I mean, that'd be a hard thing to house rule because
It
every
would
card
be.
would have to have a different.
Just go through the
version.
cards just with a marker and be like, okay.
Sure.
Yeah, as
this.
long as it's your copy.
But seriously, other than that, though, man, what a good game!
Yeah, it was fun.
It shot up again on my want to buy list because
Yeah.
when I first played it, I was like, I want to buy this, and other things kind of got in the way. And now I played it again, I'm just like, why don't I own this yet?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
No, I want to play it.
Well,
It's
I've
solid.
always been a big fan of the Firefly board game too, and this is
Oh, that's
literally
cool.
like,
Yeah.
And
oh, let's play a Firefly board game, but in an hour,
Right.
and,
Right,
you know,
and in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, is that everybody's?
I
more or
did
less?
play Space Base.
Yeah, and we played Space
Oh,
Base.
okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
which is quick.
Yep.
Yeah, Space Base is
Play
fun.
Space Base again. Fun little game. Some things I don't like in it still.
Yeah.
But
So I have one bit of news that I thought was kind of interesting.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm interested to hear you guys' thoughts on it.
okay.
So, Night Games had the Harry Potter IP to do the Catch the Snitch
Oh yeah. Okay.
game on Kickstarter. It launched on Kickstarter, was on Kickstarter for like 3 days, only got like 16% funding. It still had like at least 2 weeks left,
Mm-hmm.
and then they canceled it.
Okay.
Huh.
They wanted to
Because
sell out in the first hour. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
probably.
Probably wanted a
kinda-
bigger initial showing.
Yes, yes. They also launched either on or right before Election Day.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, they basically blamed the U.S. election for not funding immediately,
wow.
Interesting.
which is really interesting.
It is
Yeah.
interesting.
Now, I get like, okay, there
Jeez.
are overshadowing things going on in the news that might take away, steal your thunder a little
but it's
bit.
not like that was going to show up on ABC.
I mean,
Exactly.
the Harry
Associated
Potter
Press.
IP is going to fund or not fund, right? Because it's Harry
Yeah,
Potter, right?
right.
You're either everybody's going to come out, and it looked like it had really good minis
Mhm.
and everything. So there's been sort of a mixed reaction in the board game community, at least online. Some people are like, "Oh yeah, I get it." Like they're going to relaunch
Okay.
on the
Of course.
12th of November. It had 325 backers. It is a $100 game, like right out of the gate.
Wow.
For
I-
lots of like minis.
Okay.
I don't know how complex or
Right, what kind of gameplay it is?
I would
But-
personally be extremely wary of backing it because getting so far, not getting what you want, pulling out, and then coming back in
Oh, like 2 weeks
is-
later or a week later?
is the hallmark of we're not a real company or a real game. We're just trying to get your money and then skedaddle.
Well, they have had other games published. I don't remember. I don't have them written down.
okay,
But
that's good.
They are a legit company. I believe a European company, but they're a legit company. They've had some games published. So, but it's just weird.
It is weird.
It's just weird. So you either just had bad timing and you made the choice to launch when you did, not
Not thinking about,
anticipating.
like-
And I get it, right? Because if you were in Europe, you don't necessarily know
Our
that.
election's not really the first thing on your mind.
Right. Hopefully not.
But yeah.
So maybe that's that. If you're really, really, really that concerned, and you've got people that do market research for you, right? I mean, there's like usually in companies, there's a department or at least a guy, right? Like, hey, we are going to launch here, and this is why. Like whether it's I don't want to go up against Gloomhaven, right?
Right.
I don't want to go up against the next CMON thing, or that's Easter. Nobody backs games on Easter, or
Whatever it might be.
maybe people do back more games around Christmas time, or they don't. I don't know.
Whatever the
Whatever it
analytics
is.
say.
Right. There are analytics out there, right?
Sure.
I mean, there's been enough stuff published on
Yeah,
Kickstarter.
You'd be able to get that data.
There's
and-
probably a lot of data. So, anyways, it was just a really kind of weird thing. And it's like
to pull out that quickly. Like I've seen it. Like okay, you give it a few weeks, and you're like, okay, you got a
Yeah,
week left, and I'm probably not gonna make it. Let's just pull back. We'll relaunch in a little bit,
I
do
get
some more
that.
marketing.
I
yeah,
get
but
that.
do
But-
it so soon.
But to do it like 2 days in, 3 days in, and then just go, well, we're going to relaunch a week later.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
there's not enough room for
not really
more
re-
marketing.
yeah, it doesn't seem like
so-
they're really re-evaluating anything. They're just gonna
or improving
grand
anything.
open, right? It's
Right.
like that's our going out of business sale. Then like a year later, you guys are still here. Yeah, but we're going out of business, so we're having a sale.
We had such a good sale, we stayed in business.
yeah.
So I don't know. I don't
that
know.
brings up an interesting little ethical thing for me that I guess most people might say doesn't matter, but like I'd be kind of annoyed if so Kickstarters have their pledges, right?
Yep.
And like, so let's say this Harry Potter game had like if you paid $120 and you were the first 30 to do it, you get this special thing.
Sure.
You did that. They cancel the project. They restart it. You're at work. You now don't get that thing you wanted.
Good point.
Yeah.
That'd be really annoyed.
That would be really annoying. Although, I mean, I guess I will say and admit that some of those pledges and companies that have done that where they've retracted the game and put it back out, they give you like an email and will give those backers like, hey, we're
Okay.
going live here in like 2 hours,
Hopefully-
so be ready to
hopefully,
kind of
yeah.
get on.
Okay.
And hopefully that will help people who might have done something like that
Yeah,
get in on
I've
it.
never even
but, yeah.
thought of that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a company canceling and putting it right back up and causing that.
Yeah, the
issue.
right back up I haven't seen happen before.
I have not seen that. It may have happened, but I've
Yeah.
not seen it happen
that
this
quickly.
this way, this quickly.
yeah.
You know.
Usually it's a couple months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna relaunch next quarter.
Yeah, we're gonna do some more like Facebook advertising or something like
Right,
that,
right.
and then we'll relaunch it here in a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
So, anyways,
Yeah,
Weird.
just
It's
really
that's
weird.
interesting.
Yeah.
Really weird. I thought it was worth talking about,
Weird.
right?
Yeah.
But anybody else got any kind of news other than Tidal Blades?
Yeah,
Tidal Blade
it's finally
finally
shipping
came.
everywhere. Yeah.
So I was lucky, got my copy today. Don't snap for it, but we do have an unboxing. We will do a review.
don't do it.
Don't do it, Dan.
Save it. We're
We
only
gotta
got two
save
left.
it. We gotta save it.
One that might be worth it though is also a little bit of news. Is we did get to talk to the
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Definitely worth some news.
Magnus Rex.
Yeah, we talked to
creator,
Brian Lemler
Lemler.
from McDoffer
his,
Games.
His game Magnus Rex is
Boom.
up on Game Crafters right now. You can pick it up. It's very cool. It's like a crunchy Civ type game.
Also, if you can wait like maybe a week, it's going to be coming
yeah.
up real quick.
There's gonna
He
be a
is
sale.
going to do a sale on Game Crafter.
Yep.
But you're only going to have like 7 days in that
Yep.
sale to
get
get
it
it
for the
at a
cheaper
cheaper price.
And he's only allowed to do it once, and so he's choosing now to do it.
Right, right. And we were lucky that he's like, hey, I want to align my sale with coming on and talking to you guys
He's just
and
trying
doing
to-
a thing.
He's just trying to make 2020 better. You know?
That's right.
He's like, we're getting to the end of the year.
Whatever we can do.
How about you start over a new civilization?
Oh, wait.
Have fun with
But
this one.
Notre Dame beat Clemson, so
Things are
2020
looking up.
has,
Things are looking
has
up.
gotten better by this much.
Things are looking up, and Christmas is coming up. So
Yeah, Magnus Rex.
Magnus
If you're
Rex.
someone who likes
for
games.
your
And-
crunchy
and-
gamer,
Just
Game,
get it for yourself.
Game
One of those
Crafter,
self-Christmas presents.
the
Yeah.
turnaround on it is not very long if you order
Right,
it
it's
from
not a
Game
Kickstarter
Crafter.
where like Tidal Blades, where it'll be 2 years later.
2
and
years
you get
later,
it.
right?
You know, you'll get it a
right.
lot faster than that.
Sure,
Mhm.
sure. But yes, so be sure to stay tuned. Probably in the show notes, maybe a
Yep.
link to that.
Anything
Yeah.
you can't fit up there will be in the description.
Yeah,
Perfect.
long description.
Cool.
Perfect. But
Yeah, they
yes,
usually are.
good point. Magnus Rex. Dan and I played it,
Yeah.
and we really liked it.
Yeah.
right.
No, it was awesome.
Mhm.
But
I
we
haven't
will
played
have
a
a.
real Civ game like that in a really long time, though, too. So, like, it was just like, man, yeah, this does it. This
Yeah.
scratched that itch
Nice.
completely.
I'm
We're gonna
excited
have a
to check it
full-on
out.
review, and
Yeah.
I want to
look
play
forward
with
to it.
Bob because
Yeah.
I've been skunked by Bob in some Civ games. I might be able to keep up.
Because
a
now you
little
get the
bit
upper
in
leg
this
because
one.
you played before.
Yeah, right. Aha!
Yeah.
And then quickly you just surpass me.
Right.
All right, so that's it for news then,
Yeah,
right?
that's it for news for me.
boy.
Okay, so I got a Kickstarter with a couple of mentions.
I got a Kickstarter.
I got
We
a
all have
Kickstarter.
Kickstarter.
We all have
so
one.
This will be easy this
All right,
time.
Hoop.
All right. I'm sticking with the Endless Winter.
Yeah.
Still
Okay.
excited about that. Paleoamericans. There's about a week left or so by the time this airs, a little less. 1 to 4 players, 50 to 90 minutes. Worker placement, deck building, area control, 2-layer player boards.
I'm looking forward
So-
to it. It's by the same guy who did Dice Hospital.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So
I've been
question,
wanting to
Spencer,
play
did I
so
see that
bad.
you backed this?
I did back
Okay.
this.
Bobby, did you back it
Maybe.
Was it on Kickstarter? Bob back.
Yeah.
Is
the
it a
problem with
Kickstarter with
it-
dual-layer player boards? I probably back.
Yeah, the problem is it just checks too many boxes off for me.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's just
Yeah.
I'm going to like this game.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
That's
it
great.
and
is
if
very
and if I
cool.
don't like this game, I'm going to find someone else to get this game to.
Right.
That's how it
And that's
works,
fine
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
That's fine
Yeah,
too.
I got
That's
a bunch
great.
of games like that.
That's great.
Sometimes I buy 2 copies and give one away.
November 17th is when it ends.
It's like, that's what we're friends.
November
All right,
17th.
Spencer, what's your Kickstarter?
All right, well, I have one just came out. It stops in December 2nd. It's called Pachacuna.
Pachacuna.
Pachacuna. It is by Triceratops, which made Darwin's Choice.
It's pronounced
Okay.
try.
Triceratops.
Wow.
Well, okay, so
Oh, boy.
Triceratops is actually a company that's a subsidiary of a company called Tricert, which is a Swiss sustainability company. Every game they make
Triceratops.
is sustainable, and in fact, when Darwin's Choice came out, they all the extra money that they got, they put towards making it a zero carbon emission kind of game.
Wow, nice.
And so they're probably going to do the same one with this one.
Excellent.
This is a 2-player game, however. So
Okay.
I'm out.
yeah, I know.
Basically, because no one will play with Dan if it's just Dan. Like,
I
they
just
need
don't
somebody
like-
else
Wait,
as a
just
buffer.
Dan?
I'm in it
Yeah.
for the social activity, you know. I just tend to not like 2-player games.
It's your
Yeah.
only way.
Well, so here's the cool thing about this. First off, you're in the Andes,
Mhm.
and you're like from Bolivia and Peru, and you're one of 2 traders, a llama trader. You have a black
So
one
there's
or a white
trader
one.
mechanic.
Yeah.
You're trying to get up to 7 resources to different villages, and the game is a modular hex, kind of like Settlers of Catan, except they're dual layer.
Whoop, let me just back up.
Yeah, they're dual layers. It's mountain ranges and valleys, and one of the things you can do with your resources is turn them. And so the black llamas can only walk on the mountain ranges, and the white llama can only walk in the valleys. And so you're each turning the thing around, manipulating the board, trying to screw each other over
Right. To make a path.
to
where
make
you
a
need to go.
path. And it's got all sorts of upgrades that you can get for your things and buy new llamas. It's all nice, like wood pieces. It looks pretty good.
Nice.
And it comes with a handmade Bolivian bag.
Ooh.
All right.
Oh,
Now, what
and
about
Llama drama.
Yeah.
And if you want to spend a little extra money, you can get this cute little plush llama with it.
Nice.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want that?
Your
Yeah.
daughter will just make you one.
No, she will make me buy one.
Oh.
Yes.
I picked up one of those.
Oh, it
plush
wasn't your
cultists
daughter.
For one of those.
I was talking about the Cthulhu plush.
Oh yeah, no, that was my niece that
Yeah,
made
niece.
that
That
made
made that one?
that-
Yeah.
Oh, that's adorable.
It is adorable.
It's amazing. She's super talented.
So that's what I wanted to cover. Pachacuna.
Sounds
looks pretty
good.
cool.
All right.
Cool.
Interesting.
Cool story, bro.
All right, Dan. Let's just see
Let's hear
how good
yours.
your Kickstarter is.
Lame them
so-
out.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. When I first saw this,
7 players. Ick.
When I first saw this, I was actually really uninterested in it. And I was like, I'll find something else. And then I didn't find something else. So I came back to this and actually looked at it, and I was like, I actually like the look of this because it looks like the next step in Among the Stars, which is a game I've always wanted to
Okay.
play.
Yep.
Still haven't been able to.
Yep.
So it's called Star Scrappers Orbital.
Oh, I've seen the ads for this.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff.
So made by the same guy who made Terraforming Mars.
Okay.
Oh.
And so basically, so by the way, Hexy Studio, and 1 to 5 players, $38 to $107.
I tried to get us a preview copy of this. I was a little too late.
And they said no.
No, they
well,
were out
I
of
don't want to
preview
talk about it.
No, they were out of preview copies.
But and it is supposed to ship in May of next year. But so it's an engine building worker placement game. The thing that is interesting, like I said, the Among the Stars thing is so you have like this player board thing, and you have like your power there, and your board has like little module like art sticking off of it, and then you're playing cards from your hand that line up with those modules, and so you're
Okay.
building a spaceship kind of with all these cards, and then they activate by putting workers on them, and they get you resources and stuff, and yeah, it's just it honestly, like I said, when I first looked at it, I was like, oh, meh. But then I was like, you know, why am I acting like that? Because I've been wanting to play Among the Stars forever, and this looks like he basically was like, oh, Among the Stars hasn't had a new edition forever. I'll make my own version. It's kind of
Nice.
like what it looks
sure.
Cool.
like. And yeah, so Star Scrappers Orbital just looks
Check it out.
cool. Yeah, I
Is it
just like
funded yet, or
Huh?
Did you say it was funded?
I actually didn't write that down. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure it was well funded.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, in all fairness, they just put in giant letters from the maker of Terraforming Mars, and everyone's like, click.
Click.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, yeah.
But,
and
yeah.
deservedly so.
Sure.
I mean, sure. So my Kickstarter's easy. It's Skeptics.
Okay.
As of filming, it's 18 days left. It is by Uziak Games. Dan and I got to play with John. Had an awesome time. Really fun guy. He put up with our antics and our trash talking each other the whole time. It is basically it's $50 for the base game. You're gonna get a very thematic 2-sided board. There's like a what was it? A
it's an
hospital
asylum and a museum.
and a museum on the other side. We only played in the asylum,
Mm-hmm.
but it was really interesting because if you watch the video, maybe it's in the video, maybe it got edited, where he talks about how he designed the board, like his wife who worked.
Don't remember, honestly.
But you remember he talked
No,
about
yeah, I
like
remember that. I
like
don't remember if it's
actually
in the
like
video.
making sure that things on the board were laid out
Accurately?
like that they would
Okay.
be.
No, yeah, it was
Sure.
cool because he said, yeah, you can actually see there's a GIF showing all the transformations on the Kickstarter. But he talked about how his wife is like a nurse or a doctor or something, and like she saw his map set up, and she was like, that room would never be next to that.
That
room.
wouldn't be there.
Yeah, and like she kind of like taught him how to design an actual like hospital style
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And so yeah, it's just cool knowing
Right.
that level of thematic. Like I said, the biggest thing I had to say about this game was it just bleeds theme. You
It's
know?
really
And
thematic.
Whether you're into that theme or not and stuff, that's totally up to you.
The
but,
art
like,
was
I
really
loved
good.
it.
Yeah,
Right.
it's really like a haunted house, like spooky haunted house kind of, but not like over terrifying. Like I could play this with my daughter, no problem.
Sure.
Like it's
Yeah.
not so scary
Right.
or anything like
It's not
that.
abomination gruesome.
Right. Yeah, it's not that gruesome, which
Yeah.
is fine. Love it. Right?
Right.
Perfect for the theme.
Right.
But yeah, man, we had an awesome time playing. 1 to 4 players. You know what I kept thinking about, and it freaked me out like the first time I went in there because I was like, maybe I shouldn't go in there. It was the morgue.
Oh yeah.
So there's a morgue
loved
room,
that.
and the thing is, there's doors on the board, and you have to roll depending on the door. Some doors are easier to open than others, so
Okay.
you've got key dice.
Okay.
You know, so you got to roll X amount of keys to get in there, and like with any other thing, you can re-roll, but it spends actions
Sure.
to do so. The thing about the morgue is that when you go in, the door always closes behind you.
I loved it.
And I was like,
I don't have to get out
I
of
was
here.
like, guys, I was thinking about going in the morgue, but I don't like the idea of being stuck in the morgue,
Right.
you know, kind of thing.
and then he went in
funny.
there.
You need
Then I
a door
went in.
stop. The little thing they make, a door stop. Just put
No.
there.
Nope.
Impossible.
No, doesn't happen. But one of the neat things though that you can do when you set up the game, you're seeding the board with all the tokens. So so you're gonna find different things in different rooms all the time. There's
Right.
different items. There's a whole bunch of nothing here's where
Yeah.
we were like searching and searching and searching. It's like no, like I tried so hard.
Right, for nothing.
There's a really neat magnifying glass
Oh yeah, that was cool.
aspect to the game where you get this. You can go to this one room. It's always there. You can only hold one, but you got a magnifying glass, and it's got 3 uses, and it basically allows you to use an extra die because you're
Yeah,
searching, right?
you, like,
So,
rotate it.
so that's how you get from 3 die to 4 die, like because there are some things that, and you could choose not to use it, right? But anyways, had a blast playing.
Literally my only thing about the game, and this just isn't what he's going for, but maybe an expansion down the line, John. Who knows? I wish there was I wish the ghosts like fought back. You know, like
Oh,
more
okay.
horror instead
yeah,
of like
I mean, we kind
this
of
is more paranormal activity type ghost.
You're trying to like exercise the demon,
exactly
and it's
like
not
a
really
ghost
like
haunting show is what this is. Which
uh-huh.
once again, I loved it, but there's just a part of me that's just like. I kind of wish maybe that's just one type of ghost, you know, because we
Right.
haven't seen all the ghosts yet. So
Right.
maybe there's just one type of ghost who's really aggressive or
right.
something
Who
like that.
closes
cool.
more doors behind you.
Well, there-
That's actually is one.
there is one that doors behind you.
He just constantly slams doors shut.
Nice. That's funny.
But you can see the influences. He talks about some of his influences. It's a
Yeah.
lot of like 80s, like horror, like ghost horror kind
Mm-hmm.
of movies and things like that. And the art on the cards is really good. You know what I mean? There's just a lot of really nice and fun things about the game.
Sure.
So
Is there a Ghostbusters expansion?
Licensing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
No, but there's a Bust a Ghost.
Yeah,
Bust a
yeah,
Ghost.
Bust a Ghost. No, it's the real Ghostbusters with a Z.
With a Z. That's smart. That's smart.
But just before we move out of Kickstarter, I do want to say Shadow Network funded.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to say that.
And it got the dual layer player board.
Yeah.
got everything.
Oh, yeah?
It got
Nice.
every stretch goal.
Nice.
Oh, I
And
was
Bobby
so
backed
happy.
it.
I did.
Yeah.
I'll be on the contracts.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a handler, but they were sold out.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right. But
Wow.
anyways, it is just a testament to how good that game was. Got a late push.
Yep.
Got it over the line.
Yep.
So
Well,
congratulations.
it got that board game rundown, bump.
That's
Yeah.
what it was. I'm going to
Absolutely.
take full credit,
Full credit for that.
That's
But
what it is.
congratulations to all the people at Talon Strike Studios.
Yeah.
Lots of hard work paid off. That is an excellent game. I'm glad it's seeing the light of day.
Yep.
And again, it's now officially done. They met at least one stretch goal, but congratulations to Greenmore Games because Mini Steel,
was
even though
also
they're
funded.
Packers fans,
Yeah.
we love them. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Despite.
Super happy.
Yeah.
Well, I
for
wanted
them.
to say also for the Shadneck people, for you guys watching and stuff right now. Light spoiler, we're currently doing our top 30 games of all
Uh-oh.
time right now.
Uh-oh.
It's in my top 30 games, and it hasn't been
Oh.
mentioned yet.
Wow.
That's all I'm going to say. I love this game.
He does.
He doesn't shut
finally-
up about it. Like
I
literally, Doesn't shut up.
I finally played correctly, by the way, like correctly, quote
Sure.
unquote. When you'll have the actual game, this is what you're supposed to. But with the prototype, we just usually, even the developer usually doesn't. But I actually like when you're making the suitcases, put the two pieces together.
I saw that in your
Yeah.
picture, and it looked good.
looked
nice.
so good. That was
Nice.
after, that was after all the white ones were on there. Like during
Yeah.
the game when I had 7 different ones all put together. It's beautiful, and these are the prototype
Prototypes,
components.
yeah,
you know?
and the other components look way nicer.
Yeah.
I still think there's a way to improve how they do the little white ones.
I disagree. I think, we'll play it again and you'll see if you still feel that way. I don't know. As someone who played the game quite a bit now, I just don't feel there's anything like the system makes
need,
perfect sense to
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
It's possible I just explained it in a convoluted way,
Could be.
because that was my first time teaching, so that could have been a part of it.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, Shadow Network, great job. We had your back the whole time, and I'm so happy you came out on top.
Yeah, and
Awesome.
we got in late. We got in like middle to late. It was a
Yeah.
short campaign, but I'm really glad that they took the time to play with us, send us a prototype, and just give us a chance
Check it out.
because we would have missed it.
Yeah, I didn't see it or anything.
We would have missed it, and now
That'd have
it's
been a
one
shame.
of Dan's top 25 favorite games.
You figured it
Never
out
know, buddy.
because we've already
Gotcha.
done 5. That's good math.
You're welcome. That's it. I peaked at math.
Am I going to
That's
have to start changing my top 30 as we
Well,
play more games?
It's
Oh,
kind of
no.
funny.
I
It's
thought
kind of
about
funny
it.
because now that we're going to get into our top 5s, I have to. I went back. I lost my list.
Oh my God, you had to do it again.
No.
I did it again, and then I realized that I didn't have some games in there when I first was doing the ranking because I was like, wait, I didn't rank this one or this one or this one, and so I had to go on and re-add them. So I'm not going to go back and like redo
Right.
my
As long as
previous
none are
week.
repeated.
But I will tell you, there is at least 2 games that probably would have been in my top 30, like my 30 to 26. I don't know what I would have taken out, but Conclusio came in at 30.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
That
nice.
was.
Yeah.
I don't think that made it my top, but it was very close.
I mean, like, and I feel like that's worth mentioning
Yeah.
is that with Conclusio in there, it slid in at 30, and then Smartphone came in at 27.
Oh, I'm
so
so
didn't have
happy it's
smart-
not
You see,
higher.
I've only played those games one time each, so I didn't put them in my list.
So, but anyways, let's get into
Let's get into
our
it.
25 through 21.
25 to 31 games of all time, people. At least for today, it might change tomorrow.
For
Who
today.
knows?
For today.
Clearly, it might change if I lost. I
Yeah.
wrote
As soon
down
as you
every
remember the
game.
games he's played.
Here's
Oh
what
yeah.
I did, by the way. I ended that thing, copy paste into a Google Drive because you can never lose a Google Drive.
I
Yeah,
just wrote them all down.
Yeah, I wrote all mine
That's
down.
weird.
I wrote all mine
That's
down.
weird.
So
Writing
then,
30
if
Yeah.
I needed to move anything
Here's
around,
the
I
thing.
made
You
some
could
notes.
lose that. I had to say it.
Okay,
I
so
hope not.
Bob.
Okay, so real quick before we get into the 25, my 26, there's a slight editor's note.
Oh.
The wrong
I'm not
box
the only
top was put up. It's actually a new.
Oh, yes.
yeah.
I saw that too.
Yep. It was Through the Ages, a new story of civilization,
Oh,
not
right.
the original.
Yeah, it was the
story.
re-implementation or
Correct.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob doesn't want that old
Sorry,
garbage.
yeah, I don't want that on the record. So for the record, yeah, it was a new story.
For the record,
But
that game,
that-
garbage. My game,
Much better.
25 or
That's
26.
right, 26. But for 25, I have Monumental.
Oh,
Okay.
right
yeah,
on.
yeah.
Nice.
So
There's,
I'm
oh,
glad that's not higher too.
civilization type game, right? It's got a really neat mechanic where you're deck building and you're putting 3x3 row of cards out and you're picking a row and a column to activate for your actions.
right.
The biggest complaint that people have is that sometimes the turns can take a long time. But with the new expansion coming out, I know Tim doesn't think that expansion shouldn't fix the game. However, this expansion is supposed to fix that part, so that way the turns are
The
more.
good thing when I finally get to play it, you'll have the expansion.
That's
Right.
So I
It'll
won't
just
know
so
be
the
you'll
base
have
game
the
to you.
yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
base game to you. That's right.
Right.
Yeah, no, genuinely good game.
Yeah.
Just that time thing, which is what they're fixing, which
Yep.
makes sense.
Yep.
So
All right, Spencer, 25.
Okay, number 25 by Cephalo Fair's Gloomhaven.
Gloomhaven.
It might be
haven't,
higher on the list.
haven't played enough.
That's the problem. It's too hard for it to hit the table.
Sure.
Right.
Oh,
do you have Jaws of the Lion?
I do not.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I don't
You
either.
need
I've
to
just
get like
been-
one
I've
or
just
two
been lucky
friends
enough to play it.
that'll commit to like once a month or every other month. My friend Ben and I every other week for 2 years played Gloomhaven, but we got through it.
I just don't see
Wow,
that as
wow.
worth it to me.
Well, I'm.
I don't know.
I'm
It could be.
I don't
I've
know.
backed.
Good
like,
game. I
as
mean, it's a
good
good
as the
game.
game could be, it's like, man, to dedicate that much time and have to keep a schedule and like.
Well, I've backed
It's not hard.
Frosthaven. So
Uh-huh.
whenever that one comes out,
You
we'll
won't play that one either.
I won't play that one.
2 gigantic boxes on your shelf.
It's
right.
you can play it
I got
single
some
player,
of those.
and so I actually
Okay.
started to play it single player, and I have figured out ways to kind of shenanigan it to play with my siblings who are in Atlanta and Washington D.C. respectively online. It's a lot of work on my part,
Sure.
but I can do it.
Right.
Sure.
I have a mental issue.
We know.
We know that.
I knew that was going to be the reaction. That's why I worded
Singular?
it that way. But no, so I have a mental issue where Gloomhaven, like, it looks okay to me. I've been playing Jaws of the Lion a little bit. It's fun. It's kind of meh, like Gloomhaven in general. It's like, what a cool idea. Not really for me. Frosthaven gets announced. I'm like, well, I'm sold because it's snowy. It's like this weird mental thing for me. Like, I'm telling you, like, when I used to play like Call of Duty, like as a younger kid, my favorite maps were always the snowy maps. And like whenever a DLC comes out for a video game where it's like, okay, like PUBG, it was a really popular game for a while, had like, oh, the snow map's going, like, oh, that's gonna be my favorite map. I am obsessed with snowy winter
Arctic scavengers.
Yeah.
Over, I mean.
I'm serious. I don't know what it is. You make something like winter themed, like snowy themed, I instantly like it more. I'm being serious.
But you haven't
I don't
backed
know why.
Endless Winter yet.
Well, the problem is that costs money.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
So,
Sure.
you know.
So in case you've been living under a rock for the past 2 years, Gloomhaven is a game where essentially you're playing a role-playing game as a game,
Tabletop.
game, and
Structured.
it's legacy. So every time you play, your character levels up, and there's a storyline you can do, and there's there's a map that you're adding stickers to, so you're changing it along as you go, and yeah, you can develop it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Each character has their own special deck of cards and
Oh,
box
you
of
And the
spoiled
goal.
it. I'm just kidding.
Every
and you can
character,
upgrade your character.
every character has a goal that you're working
Yeah.
toward, and if you make that goal, your character automatically retires.
they
You do not
retire.
get a choice.
It's crazy.
But it usually unlocks one of the other characters that you can't get
Correct.
to until you unlock it. So
You can play the same character again if you would like to.
yes,
though.
you can.
Yeah. That's the cool thing.
They
It's like,
retire
I'm
to
going to retire.
instantly come out of
It's like, I'm
retirement.
coming out of retirement. Yeah.
But do you reset them? Or do
No.
they play
No,
That's
as
the thing
they-
is, yeah, so if
build
you
them up?
upgrade that character and then he
Yeah.
retires and then you go to play him again,
Just
he has
kidding.
those upgrades on him
Yeah,
already.
so he's
like,
like he's the
that character is
professional
the
now.
Brett Favre of Gloomhaven.
But
Yeah.
they
I'm retired. Well,
But they
That's
recommend you go through all the other characters and then
Yeah,
go,
because they're
you know
all
what?
fun.
I'm going to go back to this one. I like him.
Yep.
all right, Dan.
Dan's turn.
Sure.
Dan's
So
turn,
I only
25.
have like two
I
or
don't see your
three.
This is last
Excuse
week.
me. Party games in my top 30. I am not a huge party game guy, but there are some that are just near perfection to me. It's kind of weird. Like, I don't really like party games unless they're one of my favorite games ever. It's
Right.
kind of like that.
Sure.
And so the first, I think this is the first. I don't think I had one on my last
I don't
week's
think you did
list,
either.
but so I think this is the first of the three, if I'm remembering off the top of my head. But so Concept.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
By Repos Production, came
Yeah.
out in 2013, and I just love it because the basic idea of what you're doing. It's such a simple game, but it's like it's like playing like 20 questions, but you're using pictures, and you just like, I'm not saying anything. I'm just kind of pointing at pictures, and you're putting all the thoughts together in the order I want you to put them together to guess what I want you to guess, and it gets complicated. Like, you can have easy ones where it's just like The Matrix or Fight Club, like a movie, but then you can have like One Flew Over the I guess that's another movie. I'm trying to think of just a quote, but like put the pedal to the metal or something,
Yeah,
right?
like a random like
And
saying.
you're
or
like
something.
sitting there like,
I don't know.
how do I get them to guess put? You know, like, and like, so you're like, so it's like there's a box in the board, and it's like I take a cube, and it's like I'm trying to imitate me putting the cube in the box, like, you know, and like you can kind of do whatever you want in the game, which is the cool thing. You can't talk, you can basically say yes or no, but you can kind of manipulate the cubes however you want. Which is one of the big ways I see people kind of game the game is they like if it's put the pedal to the metal 6-word phrase, they'll put 6 cubes out in a row and then put cubes down from the first cube saying first word 4 letters.
Yeah,
and I'm
like
just like
charades.
It's like charades with
charades.
toke with
and I'm
bits.
just like, I feel like that kind of ruins the game. Like, if we can't figure it out in like 10 minutes, then sure, let's start going that. But don't start by saying like first word 4 letters. Okay, this is way
And
too easy.
You could mitigate
Sounds
that
like-
just by timing the turn, couldn't you?
Yeah, I guess you
Yeah.
could, but like again though, if you're playing Concept,
Yeah.
like first of all,
Okay.
there's a scoring system in Concept. Instantly just throw those away.
Yeah.
Sure. Kind of like just one.
Yeah, yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
No
Apples.
one,
Who
no
cares?
one plays with that.
Sure.
But
Right,
yeah, so
sure.
Concept, like it's just a big board and with a bunch of pictures on it, just
Yeah.
get people to guess stuff
Are
off
you
cards,
allowed
and you
to-
don't even need the card. You can just be like, I want them to guess this.
Are you allowed to
Right.
gesture or
Huh?
no? Are you,
No, you're not really supposed to. Again, though,
Everything here.
They let you manipulate the cubes however you want to kind of get over the whole gesturing and stuff.
Like,
Just do whatever
put-
you can with those. yeah. There was one. This is one of my proudest things for Concept. There was one where it was the thing was to interrupt someone or something. I was playing this at Levi's, and like I would put a cube down. He says, "Are you trying to go?" And then he would be like, and then I'd move the cube, and he's like, "So," and every time he went to talk, I would interrupt him, and he was like, "Why are you interrupting me?" I'm like, And like, so that's like,
That's
that's like, I don't know.
That's
That's one of my.
It's a party game. Who cares? Have
yeah,
fun with it.
exactly.
I like
Exactly.
it.
Like you almost, you want to like confuse other people and you're
That's
like,
funny.
what are you saying? Yeah.
Right.
So,
I like it.
yeah.
Right.
Concept. Love it.
Right on. My number 25 is way more complicated.
Yeah. No. Same thing.
Way more complicated. Zaya Legend of a Drift System.
Man,
Never
this-
played it.
I
Would
I've
have been on
seen
my
it.
list. I've only played it once.
I really love this game, from the components to
Yeah.
just the
So
4X style, multiple paths to victory. You can customize your own ships, which then
Mm-hmm.
makes you asymmetric because you can, you can be like a bounty hunter. You can
Right.
be a villain, like a scoundrel.
Yep.
yeah, like
Smuggler.
a marshal.
You could be a smuggler. You could be like a cop. You could just try to do like straight trade. Running missions and doing trading. It's so good. The modular board, the way
It's very cool.
it expands
And
out,
pretty.
and there's black hole, like
the
or there's
nebulous and stuff.
yeah. And one of the best stories
Warps.
I've ever had
Brown
is
coats.
I was playing with my. I think she was only like 12 years old at the time. My 12-year-old niece, who's really super smart, Cammie.
Okay.
And our buddy Pete was trying to destroy her. She literally flew her spaceship into the sun to get away.
Nice.
So she lost everything she
Icarus.
had. You basically roll a die and you respawn at like a different spot on the map, and you have to like rebuild your ship back up. But I loved it. We all just died laughing. And the other thing you can do is, well, she died.
I was gonna make that joke. That was a good one.
burning. But the other thing you could do is like you can spend energy to like scan a sector before you move into it, which means you grab a new tile, right? And you
right,
pop it
flip
down.
over. Sure.
Or you could just blindly jump
blind.
which again, you could get that sun tile, right? That
Yeah.
star tile, and or you could blast into like a shield wall, like around
Yeah.
a planet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really fun. Or you could
Yeah.
fly into an asteroid belt or a debris belt, and there's expansions where there's like a meteor that's going around that does
Yeah, I've
different
never even
things.
seen any of that
Oh,
stuff.
it's so
Wow.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wanna
it's
try
very
when I
that
cool.
too.
made this top 30 list, I was so annoyed that game wasn't on it. But like, it made perfect sense. I've only played it once.
Yeah.
I want to play it again so bad. It's really expensive.
You
It
can.
is
It is
expensive. It's got some nice
expensive.
components
The
to it, though.
components are amazing.
Oh, yeah,
Pre-painted
yeah, why it's
minis,
expensive.
Prepaid minis, metal coins.
metal coins, really
Yeah,
nice
just
cubes
come in the
and
game.
stuff.
Just come bring it to game night.
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
you have to come too.
And
Needs
you
to
can
happen.
and you
It's gonna
can
need a big table.
you can
Yeah, it's table
mitigate
hog.
the game length by deciding how much fame
Correct.
is the
Yeah.
winning amount.
Kind of like Outer Rim style, like we'll stop at 7 or stop at 8. Same
You
thing
could
with that,
play
you
like
push
an
the
epic
length.
game and go try to
All
get
the way to
up
the
to
end,
like
12 or whatever it is,
no,
20.
it's like 20. Yeah,
Yeah.
you get up. You can
Wow.
get like way up there. But yeah, it's a fantastic game.
Yeah, so
I
cool.
really enjoy it.
So cool.
So good.
Zaya Legend of a Drift System was out of print for a long time, but it is now
yeah,
back
now
on
back
print.
in print.
Okay.
Still expensive.
Yeah, yeah, because they did a second
All right.
Kickstarter.
So my 24, I'll probably catch some flack for.
Okay.
Monumental again.
yeah.
Welcome to the new Las Vegas.
Oh, you know.
Oh,
whatever.
hey,
if you
we
like
haven't
it.
played it.
I know,
Yeah.
but you guys hate the flipping rights.
Well, I hate the
Flipping rights. But no, it's a
So-
great game though because it takes like the original Welcome to, and it just makes it more complicated, right? Because like that one's it's very light. Anybody can play it. The Vegas one, there's a lot more you can do
Sure,
with it. And
crunchier.
it takes it's a lot crunchier. Like 'cause those first abilities off the first one are become bonus abilities in the new one, and there's a whole new slew of abilities that you can do.
A new slew.
A
Slew.
new slew.
It's a new slew.
Well, I
New
mean, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you say we don't like them, but like cartographers very
Right.
easily could have been on my list,
Yeah,
but wasn't.
but it wasn't.
All right, Spencer, what is your 24?
All right, my number 24 is an exception to the rule of it not being a game I only played once
Oh,
because I
board
loved
game.
it.
Mhm.
It would be higher on my list if I played it more. It's Tainted Grail by
Oh, yes.
Awakened Realms.
Tainted Grail,
Awaken
it
Realm.
kept like hanging out just outside the top
Yep,
30, and I
yep.
think for the same reason, we just need to play it
We
a
just
little
need to
bit
play it
more,
more.
Yeah.
because oh my god, please just
I
talk
had
about
it between that one and Seventh Continent, but I was like, I kept coming back. I like Tainted Grail more. So it made it into the list, and Seventh Continent didn't
It's-
quite.
It's so good, and Tainted Grail is like Arthurian legend, which I love.
Yes.
And I just, it's like this
almost
weird,
a choose your own adventure kind of game.
yeah, but it's like this weird dystopian version of like medieval fantasy, and like
Yeah.
the world is like crumbling around you, and
Like
you're,
tainted.
yeah, it's tainted.
Yeah.
It's really
And-
good.
and-
It's
and there's a
really
Grail.
creepy.
Yeah.
The theme, I mean, the theme is so strong, and it's really creepy, and like it,
Yeah.
like playing that
artwork
game,
is beautiful.
You feel like you're just in a damp, foggy, like horrible place,
I'm
but
just-
It's like
Just
fantasy
home?
so
horror.
much fun.
It's fantasy horror.
Yeah, it is.
And it does a great job thematically, but it's Awakened Realms. They always do a great job
Yes,
thematically.
it's Awakened Realms.
They
Enough
they
said.
always hit it out of the park, and just the way you can develop your characters is a great system. I just like the game.
It's really good. It's really good.
So totally off topic, but I just wanted to interject
Uh-huh.
because I heard. So I never heard this before. You said Arthurian legend. It made me think of this. Evidently, Tales of the Arabian Nights was supposed to be remade as an Arthurian legend version,
Oh,
and
Okay.
That sounds incredible.
I would
Yeah,
double
that'd
down
be
on
super
that.
cool.
And they
Yeah.
and they canceled it for some reason.
Boo.
Man, I hope that comes eventually. 'cause
So if
that's
they're
awesome.
watching this,
Tales of the Round
Well,
Table.
of course
or
they're
something.
watching it, Spencer. But
Yeah.
Anyway,
you know,
me is what
Yeah,
order you wanted to
24?
do?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so 24 with house rules.
Oh,
Dark Souls,
Souls?
the board game.
oh
Made it
god,
this high
Dark
on the
Souls.
list. So by Steamforged Games, came out in 2017. 1 to 4 player co-op miniatures game, basically.
basically, see any other game where Dan has a top 5, and you will hear about Dark Souls.
Yeah, it's just cool. It's another game though that's kind of like the Firefly board game, which did not make the list. But great game if you're really into the universe and stuff
Oh,
like
sure,
that. Like someone who does not understand every reference on the cards and stuff, I probably wouldn't play Dark Souls with them because as a game, it's okay. It needs some tweaks. I've house ruled it for a reason, for a couple things to give you that feeling the video game gives you. Because mechanically, it does the video game really well. But like that's not always as fun. You know, it's
Yeah.
very different to go from this to that. So you have to tweak some things, like making a comic book a movie. You have to tweak some things, you know? And so, but with the house rules and with someone who understands the lore and like, oh, that's that spell, and like, it's incredible. It's so fun. Like, yeah, the game is super grindy, but again, if you've played the video games and you've done it, that's nothing to you. You're like, yeah, I get it. I have to kill the same enemy 50 times to get enough experience to go fight the other enemy.
Right.
Like, I get it. That's the game.
I
Yeah.
mean, Final Fantasy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. You know, that kind of thing. But yeah, so I don't need to go too into it. Dark Souls, the board game. What a bang for your buck if that's like what you're in for. Those miniatures.
The miniatures are
The
crazy.
miniatures are stunning. The
Yeah.
board system is so cool with the nodes and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
I like it.
pretty
I
fun.
like it a lot.
So my 24 is probably my lightest game on the list.
Dark Souls.
Dark Souls.
I was like,
For
what?
Sale.
Okay.
For Sale is
Sale.
one of my favorite like small box games. Like you basically everybody starts. You got money. You're bidding on all these properties. They've got a numerical value.
Okay.
And once you go through the whole deck of those 1 through 30, you then you pick up all the properties you've gotten, and then you are now playing. Like then money cards come out, and you're gonna sell your properties. So the highest number gets the highest monetary value.
Okay.
So you go up and then you go down, and you
Yeah.
can play it in about 10-15 minutes.
Did
Yeah,
we
it's
play this one
almost-
together once?
We probably
I
have
think
played
we
it.
have it. Yeah,
It's an
once.
amazing filler game. It's just this. It's just
Cool.
it's 2 decks of cards.
Yeah, it's
and
almost
some-
playing 2 different games at once, or
Yeah.
2 different games that just the first one links to the second one. Like, okay, let's play this card. As a matter of fact, most people teach it that way. I hear like, we're
Yeah.
just gonna play this game. Once you're halfway through the game, you're like, that was that. Here's the rules for the second half of the game. You
Yeah.
know, like so.
That is the way to teach it.
Nice.
For Sale, Eagle Griffin Games. It's so good.
Oh, Eagle Griffin.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
so good. It's just
Is it in a huge box?
yeah, it should be. No, it's just it's just a little box. I always bust out my metal coins when I play
Oh,
it.
yeah.
It comes with cardboard coins, whatever.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
fine. But it's a fantastic game. I love it.
All right. Speaking of games we love.
Yeah.
23. Euphoria. Build a better
Nice.
dystopia.
I need to
This
I need to play
almost
this one.
Nice.
Yeah.
this was almost on my list. Like
Didn't
a bunch
make
of
top
times.
30? Wow. So
It's
good.
tough. I love Euphoria. It's one of my
Yeah,
favorite
it's gr-
Stonemaier games.
I love the
Actually,
theme, the dystopian theme. I love the rolling dice worker placement. I love the, they get smart, but then you use some electroshock therapy to dumb them down so they stick around and work for you
So
more.
good.
Ah,
So good. Like, I love it.
Or
So-
waterboarding. Is that the other one?
Well, you use water to create more. No, you use heart to, you don't waterboard.
Okay, there were 2 different
don't
torture things in
waterboard.
the
One
bottom
one
left, I
one
thought.
creates more dice, and then the other one dumbs them down.
Okay.
Yep.
That's what it
so
is.
I have no Stonemaier games on my list.
That's a
But-
sin.
Yeah.
Euphoria would be the one.
Would be the
Like
one. That's your
it's
favorite.
my favorite.
sure?
It's my
Yours?
favorite one.
So after we leave today, he'll go redo his list
Again, and then there will
and
be
have
some
the
Stonemaier
correct games
That's
on
right.
there. Yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah,
But yeah.
Euphoria is my
Yeah,
favorite.
Euphoria is
good
great.
one.
So when I redid it, Euphoria came in at 26.
That's funny.
I was like, Euphoria.
Yeah.
So
That's all right.
fantastic. Good choice, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Really good
All right.
choice.
Glad to have your approval.
All right, so this
You're
one
welcome.
is This one's a little bit cheating. It's 2 games.
Disqualified.
Arkham Horror,
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Fantasy Flights,
Yep.
and the original from 1987, Chaosium.
Oh.
I have to add them together because I grew up playing the original one, and it's still one of my favorite games. But Arkham Horror, one you can go buy right now. I think, what, 3rd edition they're on to?
Third
But
edition.
It's different than the second one I heard. Isn't it a bit different?
It's a little streamlined. They changed the way you do the board.
Is that
good
the
and
one that
stuff like
Patrick played?
Yes, but I
Okay.
don't. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
so
Still
it's a
go.
haven't
bit
played
different.
it.
You're an investigator trying to close portals into various other dimensions that are letting various
Monsters and shit and stuff in
Lovecraftian things come through. And at the end of the game, you're usually up against one of the Elder Ones, and you got to stop it. Or if it's the wrong Elder One, you've lost.
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no
It's
fight.
really tough.
It's just over.
It's really
Yeah,
tough.
it's over.
It can be a grind, but
It can be a
do-
grind.
I do enjoy the experience with Arkham Horror with the right people. And
Yeah,
it-
absolutely.
People like the
It's a
theme of it.
thematic.
You're searching for things. You're trying to keep your sanity.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've played Eldritch, which I
Never
hear is
played
similar
Eldritch.
I haven't played that
enough.
one either.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So-
Never
Like,
played
I think I
Eldritch.
prefer the Arkham. to
I've heard
Eldritch.
most
Yeah.
people prefer Eldritch, just from
Yes.
what
That's
I've
what
It's
I've
more
heard.
card
Yep.
based and stuff, but
Yeah.
like I prefer the other one more because like I don't know, I like the board, I like going to the other worlds, which you don't do.
Sure,
in
yeah,
the
all
Right.
sounds cool.
and the box lies to you. It takes 2 or 3 times longer to play.
Oh, sure.
It's a long
Yeah,
game.
well,
sure
in
Eldritch
all
is the
fairness,
same way.
like 70-80% of boxes lie to you.
Yeah,
They
that's
all
true.
lie.
Time.
They're
true.
all
It doesn't
liars.
include setup. It should have like a setup
But-
time and then a time and then
That's true.
play time.
Well, yeah,
time.
and it should have playtime if you've played before. and
Yeah.
Played
playtime if
before.
you haven't.
Right.
Times 1.5.
And then there's no room for anything else on
Yeah,
the box.
exactly.
That's
It's a
right.
whole box. But hey, it's
There's a
all
box of
truthful.
times on here. I don't know.
All right, Dan.
Uh,
Dan.
Dan's time.
23.
23. Not so much flack for this one as much as disagreements, but that's fine. I don't understand it. Dead of Winter's a good game. It has flaws. It does, but it's a good game. And the weirdest part to me is that people's biggest flaw with the game, maybe not for
That
you
it's
guys,
boring?
but
Oh.
I've definitely never had that before. But people's biggest flaw, maybe not for you guys, but like in the general population that I've heard, is they don't like the way the semi-co-op works in that game.
Oh, I disagree with that. I mean, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Those people are wrong.
Okay,
That's
well-
not my
That's
problem
not the
with
beef
that
with
game.
it.
Well,
Yeah.
I was going to say the weirdest part to that of me is, so I've played this game a lot.
Sure.
Okay? I've never played with the trader before.
Oh.
We just play with the harder version
Full
of the
co-op.
missions, full co-op. And the game is perfectly difficult that
Right.
way.
Oh, yeah, it's
And
super
so
difficult.
it's just weird to me that a lot of people's complaints with the game
It's something that
is
you can just
a
take
rule
out.
that is so easily ignored. It would be
Yeah.
like the famous Witch of Salem game, right? Where it's like you're not allowed to tell each other if you see a portal in that game or whatever.
I don't know.
But everyone's just like, we just ignore that because the
It's
game's
so
hard
famous,
enough anyway.
I've never
Yeah.
heard of it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But yeah, Dead of Winter, I guess I should say because I like it.
Plaid
Plaid Hat
Hat Games.
Games, 2019, 2 to 5 players.
2019. That's not right.
That's the newer one.
Oh, 2014.
Oh, I was
It
gonna
was.
say.
It
They came-
was.
I thought they
You're
came
right.
out
There
with
was a new
it.
edition. I don't think that was
Yeah.
2019 either, but
Right.
yeah,
Oh,
2014.
yeah.
But it's so yeah, it's kind of almost tower defense, you know,
Yeah,
except that
kind
you
of.
don't
Getting hordes
have
of
to.
them.
But like, if you do certain actions, it'll turn into tower defense.
This is a game I liked
But,
the first time I played it, and then the more I played it, the more I was like, nah.
That's weird to me. It has
I
a really,
cooled
I
off,
really
like,
like the
strongly on it.
action selection system in that game. The whole roll the dice and then different things have pip numbers, and so I have to use my 5 to do that ability and my 2 to like I like.
And it
that
is a
system
game that
lot.
I should like.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of things it does, and I'm like, oh, I like that. I like that. I like that. And then I play the game, and I'm like, eh.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so weird that it falls flat. Like, it's not that you hate it or anything, which is totally fine. We don't have to like the same games. It's just we have this conversation every time we bring up Dead of Winter where I'm like, I can't figure out what you don't like about it. He says, I can't figure out why I don't like it.
Yeah, I can't either. I can't either.
So I don't know. But yeah, Dead of Winter zombie survival co-op / semi-co-op game. Really cool. Yeah,
You said the bad word, semi-co-op.
I know.
So I've got my my 23 is my first, but not my last social deduction game.
Oh.
Growl.
Which one is this?
Oh,
yeah.
Growl.
Growl came in really high. I love the experience of playing Growl. I
Yeah.
love the table talk. I love the negotiating for cards.
It's probably my favorite werewolf type.
Kind
game.
of the rowdy outcome at the end as we're all yelling or howling or not howling.
Right.
It is a really, really, really fun, accessible social deduction game with fun art, really nice components,
Good player interaction.
great player interaction, and you can't just sit there and be quiet and
Right.
go,
You
"Well, Dan's a
gotta-
werewolf because he's not talking this
Yeah.
round."
You
It's
gotta
like, no,
you have to participate.
you
That would also
kinda,
never happen.
You kind of right.
Yeah,
also
Dan
true.
never shuts down.
No,
If
just
Dan-
the
If they weren't
werewolf.
talking, it's like, is he dead? Like somebody hold a mirror up underneath his nose to check. But no, Growl. It's a really great game.
Yes.
I really love it.
Agreed.
So, hey, we got a review for Growl.
We do.
Where would that be?
Oh, watch out, Spencer.
Oh wow, how many did you just do there?
Wild.
There's head.
All right. So, Mr. Hooper, what's
Yeah.
your number 22? sir?
22. So my 22 is my first legacy game on my list, and it is Clank Legacy.
Oh, wait. So you have a legacy game? Oh, wait. Okay.
Yes,
know
I have
it's gonna be
legacy
high.
games that I have ranked higher than that.
I can
one.
only think of one.
There's another one on there that you probably wouldn't guess, but I enjoy it
Seafall.
more. Well, spoilers. But no, Clank Legacy is great. If you've played Clank before,
Sure.
you should definitely try Clank Legacy. You know, everybody starts the same basic deck, and then you're building through and exploring.
Yeah.
And it's really great.
I've got to
It's
get my
done
hands
well.
on Clank
Yeah,
Legacy
it's
because
done
I
really
love
well.
it.
Like I
love
said,
Clank.
that's one of the few ones that I've played all the way through that I would probably go back and play again. And not so
Sure.
much just play through the Legacy, but to play the finished board.
Right.
It's
Oh,
like
sure.
a lot of the Legacy ones are, oh, you can bring the board game back, like Charterstone. I'm not going to play Charterstone
Sure,
again.
sure.
But Clank Legacy, I would totally play that board again.
Again.
Yep.
Right on. Right on.
Right on right.
On right. Spencer, 22.
Number 22 is my only 2-player game in the list.
Oh,
From
Dan
Proj-
doesn't like it.
Yeah, no.
Terrible.
He's
game.
out.
From Project Kells is called Terra, T-A-R-A. It is a Celtic knot themed strategy-based game where 2 players. There's actually a variety of different games you can do, like all the Celtic knot games I've had.
I was about
don't
to
know
say,
why.
don't you literally have a game called like Knots? or
Knot
something?
Dice.
Yeah, Knot Dice.
I have Knot
yeah.
Dice, which is a good one too. But in this one, you are competing to make Celtic knots, and depending on which game you're playing, one of the more popular ones is you have islands. So my Celtic knots are red, and my opponent's are blue. And if I can block him off, so he has 2 Celtic knots on the board and I have 1, I win.
Because you were able to have yours together.
I was able
and
to connect them before he
Nice.
could get to them.
Terra. How did you find that? Was that like a Kickstarter? Or did you
It-
just
no, it was a gift a long time ago from my mother-in-law.
Right on.
Just
She
out of
knows
the
you
blue.
well.
Yeah.
I just don't. I imagine you like introducing people to like your game collection, and you're like, okay, so here's like my worker placing games. Here's my Celtic knot games. Here's like, and people are like, what? What's
Yeah.
that? You have a whole section of
Yeah, whole
it's a
section of
whole
those.
strategy.
Spencer's like, this is my first of my next 20 Celtic knot games.
we did a top 30 Celtic knot games, right? Isn't that
Yeah,
what this was?
we
Yeah.
had a meeting, right? Yeah. So Dan,
22.
22.
Man, this is a game I have not played in a long
tell us
time.
about your Celtic knot game.
So my Celtic knot game. 22 is Puerto Rico.
Nice.
Puerto Rico.
This game, man,
It's a
holds
classic.
up
It is a
so
classic.
well, and I hate that I don't own it. I was literally on Amazon
played it.
last night actually because you can get the Puerto Rico Deluxe Edition that has like a way
Why
better
don't you
looking
go to
board
your
and
They got a
local
deluxe
game
edition.
store
Yeah.
and buy it?
yeah, I'll be like, get the Deluxe Edition, and then I will because it
Talk
looks
to your
so
local
good.
game store.
They
They
probably
might.
ordered you one.
It looks. Oh, I know. I was just saying I was looking at it because I honestly I didn't even know you could get a deluxe edition like that for like a nice cheap price. Like I knew there was like the 10th anniversary edition or whatever,
sure.
and then there was the normal one. I didn't know that was even a thing. But yeah, like Puerto Rico, man, that is like the classic for me. Like
Sure.
there's so many games that are classics that I do not think hold up very well. Puerto Rico holds up so
It
well.
does.
This game is so good. Yeah, people complain all the time. You can game the game and like, oh, if he takes the prospector, then I'm supposed to take this role because that's like. I just don't care.
Don't overthink it.
I
Just
will
play the dang
purposely
game.
never know the order. I'm telling you right now, you can hate me. I will purposely. I'll make it my life's goal to never know the order you're supposed
Oh,
to draw
boy.
those
There
things
you
in.
go.
Now, did you? I believe it has
What?
an expansion.
It actually has 2 expansions. I think I've never played with either.
Yeah, I believe one of them lets you do forests.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. No. So I'm gonna be getting that at some point because yeah, I need to play this game more. I played it a couple times way in the past, and I just keep thinking about it. Keep talking about it, like what a game that holds up. Like a game that has that box art.
Yeah.
And it's that good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
It is evergreen.
Rio Grande.
man.
Oh
It
yeah,
is
it
evergreen.
is. Well, yeah, it's real.
Yeah.
It's also a Leah though.
That's
2002.
true. Yeah.
My next game, it was out of print. Now it's back, baby. Belfort.
Oh,
I really like Belfort.
never
I haven't
played
played it.
It's really
don't know
fun, like quirky humor, like worker placement. You're building, you're like elves and dwarves, and you're building in this fantasy city, and you're building certain buildings, and your worker placement. You're gathering resources. You're doing a bunch of things. It's just really funny. Like I just like reading the cards and like reading how your worker boards work, and you know, elves are good at things and dwarves are good at things, you know, and they just had an expansion come out for it. I haven't played it yet, but Belfort.
So is it a city building game, or is that just something you're doing?
It's just kind of something you're doing.
Okay, I was just
Yeah.
wondering.
I mean,
it sounds cool.
You're upgrading, you're building things, and you get points for building things or guilds. Like controlling because you built it, you control it, kind of thing. And,
Sure. Okay.
And there's different aspects of the city that you're trying to score.
Yeah, I've seen the box art quite a bit. I just never knew what it was.
Again, one of the things I just loved about it was that it's almost like a Douglas Adams like kind of humor, which is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy
Gotcha.
kind of stuff.
Right.
It's up my alley. Like Belfort. It's really good. I got it as a gift. My sister thought I would like it. She was right. It was really good.
She's pretty good at.
She knows.
She knows.
She knows.
Yeah.
All right, Bobby.
all right.
21. Last one for the
Last
day.
one
So
for the
make it
day.
good.
It's going to surprise you guys. It's another legacy game that you probably weren't going to be able to guess.
Seafall.
No.
Not
Trying
Seafall.
to think.
Seafall 2. Electric Boogaloo.
You don't have
No.
time for me to
No
think.
time. Okay, no, you're out of time. Aeon's End. the
Oh,
legacy
right
game.
on.
Hands down.
I haven't had a chance
I
to
wouldn't have thought of
finish
that
it
one.
yet. We're only about 3 or 4 games in,
Sure.
but it's probably 4 or 5 games in. But it's super cool. Like it's because your character starts out blank and your deck is pretty basic, but then you're putting stickers on to like pick the abilities you get. Because I don't know if you played the normal Aeon's End. You have
A little
they're
bit, yeah.
pre-generated characters basically, right? They have a list of abilities and whatnot. But this one you get to pick what kind of abilities you get, and then you get stickers to put on your cards, and your cards start to become different. And it plays really really well.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a really good legacy game, and it's worth checking out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Aeon's End.
Aeon's
Very
End.
popular.
Yep.
Good choice. Spencer, 21.
For 21, I actually chose a kind of a party game, Codenames
Oh,
yeah.
Codenames are really
Codenames.
good,
Love
man.
Codenames.
by Check Games Edition.
Yep.
If you don't know anything about me, I love words.
Yeah.
Sure.
And the ability to come up with a word that makes you think
Right.
of 7 things at once.
Great.
It's like sex.
It's great when it
Yeah.
works.
yeah.
I-
yeah.
I love that. I wish it
Hey.
wasn't the whole game. You know what I'm saying?
was
Like
more-
I
you
wish
want
there was
there
a
to be more
game
to it?
that I wish it was a little deeper and that was just like a part of it, like getting the word association thing. I love the word association thing. It's just Codenames falls a little flat for me because it's I don't know, it's just
See, I
all
love
you're doing.
I love
don't
the
know. I don't
difficulty
know.
and the tension of like not picking Bob's words. Like
Yeah,
I don't want to
yeah.
like
The
I
assassin.
Yeah.
want to help
Exactly.
him win the game,
Right.
and you really don't want to take
Yeah.
the assassin spot, right, or the
Mhm.
instant lose tile.
Correct.
And it's so much fun because you can have words that would apply also
both.
to both. And you're like,
Exactly.
no. It's-
Yeah.
I enjoy Codenames.
So I just love having to come up with a word or some
Something to-
reference.
yeah.
Yeah.
That you can relate to that.
I actually like too that this is almost a Lords of Waterdeep situation for me, where I actually feel like the theme is actually really good in Codenames. Like I
Uh-huh.
do feel the theme in there because like the whole
true.
point is you have to make contact with the agents. Like that's why they make you touch the card, is you're making
Yeah.
contact with them. So I picture in my head it's me walking up to Tim and saying banana bread.
And you're like,
And I'm
"What?"
telling him that code, and if he's a blue agent, he knows what I'm saying.
Right.
But also, I might go to you, who's a red agent, and be like banana bread, and you just got my secret code. But then, like, you go to a civilian, you say banana bread, and they're like,
What?
I don't know what the hell that means. Like, and I just
Why
like
are
that
you
you're
touching
making
me?
contact.
Right.
It's weird that the agent has no idea who they're supposed to make contact with, so they're just going around telling
Telling
everyone.
everybody.
But,
Yeah.
but,
That's how
you know.
spies work.
Yeah.
yeah.
Plus, you have different editions. Like there's a Harry Potter one where
Yeah.
everything is Harry Potter themed.
Yeah.
Disney.
Like
Right.
in
Disney,
Disney. And so
Marvel.
if you're into those
Right.
IPs,
Yep.
then
Yeah,
you
there's
could really have fun with it.
Funny one off on that is one year for Christmas, my parents got me the Deep Undercover one,
Oh,
which
is
is like
that
the
the-
adult
I haven't
version.
played.
And they're like,
Oh.
let's play it. I'm like, okay. And we start playing it. My mom's like, what's that? I'm like, nope, we're done. We
Yeah.
are done.
Oh my God.
I am not explaining what that is
didn't
to
know
my
they
mother.
I actually, actually, my brother, they have the Deep Undercover.
Oh,
copy.
okay.
And I didn't know that. They
Yeah.
just pulled out Codenames.
Oh my gosh.
And they opened it up, and I was going through the cards, and I was like getting ready to set it up, and I was like, I do not remember this game being like this.
Yeah.
I was like, does this have like an After Dark version? Like I didn't even
Mhm.
know it had that at that
Yep.
point. But like, yeah, I was going through these. I was like, because some of them are just like hint towards like,
Sure.
and then
Like
eventually
they're
you get to
playful
a word, and
words
you're just
like,
like, oh my
oh no,
god,
that's right in your face, as it were.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Dan, 21.
21.
Last
Last one
one.
for the day. not really too much to say about here. We talk about it all the time. My 21 is Betrayal at House on the Hill.
It's a great game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The normal or the legacy?
I actually have only played the first game of the Legacy,
Yep,
so I can't talk
same.
about it too much.
Yeah.
All right.
Together.
Well,
All right.
speaking of, if you want to, I need a group to play through with because
Same. Okay.
okay, because I put
Okay.
together some people to start playing it. Everyone loved it. Have not talked about it since. That was like a year ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have this like $90 game. I really need to
Want
get
to play?
played.
Yeah, I'm
So-
in. Yeah, because
I got so many like that.
Yeah, yeah. So Avalon Hill, Wizards of the Coast
Yep.
in 2010 was the newer version or whatever.
Cool beans.
But yeah, I mean, you're just building out this map, you know, almost Carcassonne style, right? Laying the tiles, building out this map, exploring, getting stats. Again, almost Talisman style, I guess, too, where you're kind of just spending a lot of the game just leveling up. I'm gonna get good at da. And then eventually, stuff goes down, and all of a sudden, Tim's a demon. And it's just like
Who
Again.
knew?
And it's
Yeah.
Well,
like,
they
oh,
probably
We
knew.
probably knew.
Yeah. But yeah, so like the first half of the game is just leveling up your character, co-op, exploration, really fun. Like it's cool though, because it's like it's semi-co-op. It's not like really semi-co-op. Like everyone's trying to level up, but like I also don't want Bob to level up too much because like he might wind up being the
But-
bad
but
guy.
you
Right,
might
right. So you don't want to help
Or
too much.
you might end up being the bad
Yeah.
guy.
So
But
it's
you
like
might
everyone
need
kind of
him-
wants to stay on
Like
like
everybody
evil
stay
playing
even.
field.
Yeah.
Stay even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's-
yeah, and
it's
then
a
the
lot
hunt
of fun.
happens and everything goes down, and yeah, Betrayal House on the Hill, a great underrated game, I think. Yes, it has balancing problems. I just don't care.
No,
it's about the
fun.
story.
Yeah,
It's
you
about
yeah,
the
you're
story.
playing for the
Yeah.
story.
But
Yeah,
I
so
agree.
my
fun.
problem with the game was I played that game in college so many times. I went through every single scenario. In
That's
fact,
a lot of times.
we got to the point. We played it like almost every day for
Okay.
months.
I was gonna say I played that game. I can't even count how many times, and I still have
Well,
not.
no.
even come
See, that's the problem.
close.
We got to the point where we're like, okay, no, we've done that scenario. No, we've done that scenario. No, we've done. All right, you know, we're just going to rig the game so that we can get to the scenario that we
Sure.
haven't played yet.
Yeah. Well, you probably haven't heard the story. I'll say really quick. I know you know it. You probably know it. I've done that once. I rigged it once because we found that in the base game, there's a scenario that plays out a lot like Saw, the movie, where everyone passes
Oh,
out,
yeah.
wakes up, and everyone has like collars around their neck, and you have to like look for keys in the house to get it off. But one person is secretly has a fake collar, and they're like Jigsaw, right? And so I purposely set it up that we would get that scenario because my brother and I recorded like a professional like hello explorers. Like we
gosh,
we
that's
did a
great.
Saw tape, and there's like the da-na-na, da-na-na playing in the background stuff, and like so like I did this whole mood thing with like, okay, we're playing. I don't care. This is called Betrayal House on the Hill. Today we're playing Saw the board game, and it was
Nice.
a great time. Yeah.
Nice. And probably better than the one that Prospero Hall will make one
no.
day.
Oh, yeah. I was like, there is one.
My favorite
What?
one was the one where everyone suddenly goes unconscious and they wake up 3 inches tall,
Oh, right.
except for the one guy who's the evil scientist who made them all 3 inches tall, and he releases his cats.
Yep.
Ah.
You know, and you have to like build the model airplane. Or
Yeah, you
something.
get in the
Yeah.
model airplane to fly out the window.
Yeah,
That's only one
that's
way
funny.
to get out.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Well, I love that one. It was
That's
fun.
so good.
And then in the other scenario, flesh-eating alien comes and
Yeah, I mean,
it's
it
just
could
like,
be
oh my god,
Crazy. Yeah.
could
Or
be
the-
anything.
Quite the spectrum.
Various portals are opening up throughout, and demons are pouring out. And
It's really good.
or mice and cats, whatever.
Mice
yeah,
and
whatever.
cats. My number 21.
Yep, last one with the video
Last
too. Even more
one.
pressure for you.
Last one. That's all right. We've talked about this one before. We've gotten unboxing for this one.
What?
Got amazing components. This one, I like the original version of this game, and then this came out, and it kind of buried it. I'm interested to see
Oceans.
what's going to happen. But Oceans, yes. I really enjoyed Evolution. Evolution had its problems. I get it, right? But Evolution came out. I never played anything like it. I really loved it. Then Oceans came out, and it fixed a lot
Fix all
of
the problems.
problems
Yeah.
that I had. Not even that I had, but like that other people would have, like when we play, and it'd be like a common
Like the
complaint.
mean aspect of it.
Right. And Oceans still has
A
that.
little bit, but it's not so detrimental.
Yes, it's not as devastating.
correct.
But Oceans has so much variability. Didn't you have Oceans on
Yeah,
your
it was number
list?
28.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a
So
Or
I-
27.
I
The
won't
same.
kill it
Yeah.
too much, but man, Oceans, the artwork, the components, if you can get
Good.
the deluxe edition, please do.
Right.
It's really good.
Well, yeah, and I didn't know until he just said something. Evidently, Evolution 2 is being worked on.
I
right
know.
now.
Whoa,
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that now because even though I
crack my
didn't
top
like
30.
Evolution very much, Oceans was such an advancement on Evolution that now I'm like, okay, what's Evolution 2 going to do to
Right.
Oceans?
Yeah,
Yeah.
very
Right,
interested.
yeah,
Right.
so, like,
Very,
yeah.
very
Check it out.
interested. So, yeah, man, Oceans. That's
Good game.
what I got.
Cool.
Wrapping up, always check out our website, Game Talk Network.
Yep.
Yep.
You can find us on Game Talk Network, Meeple Game Society.
Yep. Check the links
Uh,
below.
check out our friends at the Board Game Mechanics.
Yep.
They're pretty okay.
They're pretty okay. They got a YouTube channel and a podcast.
They're also doing their top 100.
They're doing 100.
right
They're
now.
way
Yeah.
more
Oh, wow.
ambitious than us.
Yep. Well, we couldn't do 100 because we had Dan.
That's
Right.
That's true.
It's literally true.
Yeah,
that's what I
fingers
mean,
and
I'm just saying.
toes. Once we're out of
We
fingers
could
and
do a
toes,
top
Dan's
one-
done.
Yeah.
We could do a top 100 to me, but like my
30.
first 30, 40 games would be like, these are okay.
Yeah.
It's like Stratego, Monopoly,
He would absolutely be on there.
chess.
I've been goofing around doing like a little mini, like 5 to none of them have even
Yeah.
gotten to 10-minute like little podcasts. You can find us on
Oh, yeah.
Spotify. Just look up Board Game Rundown. I've been trying to do them with my daughter so we could talk about games that Mallory likes.
Sure.
And she's just excited to like get on there. So
That you're
yeah.
talking to her.
Yeah, then I'm talking to her. And I've also been trying to do like some little like just flash reviews, just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a real quick review of something.
I've
like,
been
oh,
listening to
hey,
it. I've been
played
enjoying it.
Yeah, and he doesn't usually like to
Good
listen to me
audio
talk.
quality and stuff. You know?
But yeah, find us there. Also, shout out to Brian from Magnus Rex and John Uziak from Skeptics. Thank you guys. John Leo from Wolves of Mercia reached out to us. Spoiler alert: that game is coming up eventually
This is
on this list.
mind blowing to me. Yeah, me
It's a good
too.
game.
A game that we love. Dan introduced us to Wolves of Mercia. He reached out to us. He found us, reached out to us, gave us some promo cards even. It was just like, hey guys, I found your show. Thank you for doing the review. I've been able to email with him back and forth a couple times. It's like huge for us, right? Like
It's-
geek out kind of
Yeah,
moment.
no, this
Yeah.
is like,
So
yeah,
That's awesome.
This is huge. This is like, well, it'll be higher on the list.
yeah, it'll be higher on the list.
Yeah.
Both of us will have that.
I
way
don't
higher-
want to spoil too
higher on
much.
the
It'll
list.
be higher on the list. But
But yeah, Wolves of Mercia, man, it's a great game. Check it out. Brybelly Games.
Yeah,
It's
it's
great.
so good.
So
And it's like $15 with like the cheapest shipping in the world. Like
Yeah.
they do such a great job.
yeah, I would just go to their website and buy it. And if there's a way, say, hey man, you saw us on the rundown, like Board
Let
Game
them know.
Rundown.
Tell them we sent you.
Yeah, if you think about it. If you think about it, why not?
Yeah.
But for the Board Game Rundown, I've been Tim.
I've been Bob.
Up and Dan.
And I've been Spencer.
We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Finger guns. That's pertinent now, right?
Thanks for checking out the Board Game Rundown. If you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Share our videos on social media and spread the word. We publish new content weekly, including reviews, unboxing, and Let's Plays. And as always, thanks for watching.